A thriller in Abingdon. Adam Cole is all elite, baby. And Tester is AWOL. Welcome to episode 4.2 After the Whistle. I'm your host, Brian Moore, along with Tom Krieger. How you doing today, Coach?
I'm doing great. Tester's not here. Unlimited food, boy.
Unlimited wings all night long.
Come on down.
All right, well, speaking on behalf of Coach Tester, he's not here. He had several appointments this week, unable to make the show, so we're flying this without him today. And, of course, as Coach Krieger told you, free food, or drinks on the house, you name it, whatever.
That's right.
On down. All right, well, let's get straight to the program here. I'd like to mention all of our sponsors real quick. Buchanan Therapy Services, True Point Bank, Southern Gap Outdoor Adventures, Grundy Auto Sales, The Patriot Outpost, Buchanan General Hospital, and BELLACINO'S here in Grundy. As mentioned in the opening, Adam Cole is all elite, along with Brian Danielson.
Danielson.
He's all elite. If you haven't been
What about
watching.
Paul White's there too?
All White, you name it, the whole shebang's there.
Even Vince.
Ruby Soho, formerly Ruby Wright, is there. All right, so with that being said, let's go straight into it. Last week's recap brought to you by Buchanan Therapy Services, located in the Grundy Plaza. A lot of interesting games last week. Real quick, let's take a look at our
Couple big comebacks.
Yeah, last week I was 15-2, Krieger 14-3, and Tester 13-4 on our picks there. So let's take a look at the recap here and see what we've got. All right, the games from last week. Grab my paper here. We had Christiansburg at Abingdon. That
Great ball game.
Great game. That was a thriller. Casey Graham's 35-yard touchdown pass to Travis Altizer with 7 seconds left to go in the game was the difference. Gave Christiansburg the road win.
I wonder if that's Shane Graham's son.
I doubt it.
You know, Shane Graham played.
Yeah.
But I think he played for Blacksburg, didn't he?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe there is a connection there. A good possibility. The game was tied 7 at halftime. Abingdon took a lead late in the game, 27-26 in third quarter, and they even took the lead, held it for a while, and then Christiansburg gets the big play there at the end of the game and upset win. I know folks at Abingdon upset over the recent loss of Coach Ratcliffe, and then at the same time the emotions of this year's got to be pretty tough on them. But I'm pretty sure they're going to fare well moving forward. Christiansburg with a big win, a thriller.
That is a big win.
Grayson County, Carroll County. Grayson County 27, Carroll County 22.
I didn't see much on that one.
Didn't see much on it either. Big win for Grayson there, though, picking up a win against Carroll County. Grayson goes 1-1 on the season. Next on our list was Radford and Gate City, and this was another instant classic. I've heard a lot of people talking about this. And
We missed that. We said it'd be a track meet.
Yeah, I thought that Radford would run with it. Coach Chris, though, moves to 2-0 with the win. This was a very evenly matched contest, and hats off to Gate City for that. 14-10 after 3 quarters. Gate City actually took the lead late in the game. Luke Bledsoe hit Luke Stokes for a 54-yard touchdown pass, and looked like Gate City had it, but Radford scored with 4:57 left to go in the game to get the win. So Coach Chris 2-0, and his former team is 2-0 as well.
Yeah, Virginia
High. Gate City's 0-2, but they are much better than advertised, evidently. And from what I hear from everybody, this was an old-fashioned slobber knocker, Radford Gate City style football game. So it's good to get those kinds of reports. Next, we had Central at Marion. This was the track meet you were talking about. Wise Central 42, Marion 7. Mullins once again rushed for a touchdown. He returned an interception, 99 yards for a score. Central improves to 2-0.
Big game this week.
Yeah, and your boy Tyson Tester.
That's
We
right.
talked about him. Tyson Tester had 5 carries for 84 yards, 2 touchdowns. It reminds me of somebody. I can't remember who it was. But it was
Was the Tester played at Hurley?
there was one
in the 90s.
One time there was one over there. Yeah. Dustin Sturgill had 8 carries, 108 yards, and Matthew Boggs 8 carries, 81 yards, and a touchdown. Also played very well for Central on the night. Total, Central had 445 yards total offense, so they evidently just grinding it.
And I talked to Coach Tester. He said it took him a while to get going, but you know, you've played and coached. They're looking a little bit ahead, I think, and maybe slow start. But he said slow start. It was 42-7. So
yeah, yeah, he would say that. Well, what would he say right now?
he's like, yeah, we just come out, wasn't playing good, just got lucky on a few plays.
Yeah, there you go. Fill in for him every now and then. Virginia High at John Battle.
Ooh.
63 to absolute nothing. Virginia High rolls 2-0. They scored 35 points in the first quarter alone. It was all them. Not a whole lot more we can say about that, to be honest with you. Virginia High improves 2-0, and Coach Derek Patterson seems
It looks like he's got it rolling pretty good.
And the kids in the newspaper, a lot of kids were talking about the culture change in regards to the attitude that they have, and that's really good to hear kids speaking positive like that. So,
we knew Coach Patterson was going
yeah.
not change what Chris, not saying that Coach Chris was.
No.
I mean,
Coach Christ, I think, had the weight program and a lot of other things really well established, put in place.
And Patterson come in with his
and just put the
charisma and everything, boys, and knows a little bit of football, and he did go to Emory.
Yeah. Well, part of that Emory Mafia, there you go. So Virginia High, big over John Battle. East Side at Lee. East Side 65, Lee 14. The woes continue for the Generals over there, but I'm sure they'll get the ship righted eventually. East Side, big win there, 65-14. Tazewell at Graham. This was not what some of us expected. Zay Bradshaw, another big night, scored 3 touchdowns for Graham. Tazewell scored first, went up 6-0. It looked like maybe we were going to have a contest, and then next thing you know, Graham just rattles off 34 straight points.
That Patron, boys.
Yeah.
I'm
sure it was flowing well, I would say, Friday night, or at least into Saturday.
I think Bradshaw's got some good genetics.
Yeah, you reckon? Yeah, he's probably got something.
Yeah, I think
fall through
some
on
of his one of his family members played the Super Bowl.
Yeah, a couple of them. Yeah. Carter Creasy did have a pretty good night for the Bulldogs, throwing the ball 21 of 34 for 131 yards for Tazewell, so that's a bright spot for the Bulldogs as they move forward into the season. But congratulations to Graham picking up that win, especially after being on again, off again, and stuff like that with COVID and quarantine. So G-Men back in action, defeat Graham. All right, next we had George Wythe, Fort Chiswell. This game was a little bit closer than a lot of us expected. George Wythe gets the 14-7 win over Fort and improves there, gets their first win of the season. Next we had Giles at Galax, and Giles was officially welcomed back into 1A by Galax. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head what the score was, but
I didn't see
that's
anything
one I
on
didn't have, but it was pretty much all Galax. Giles is young, and Giles has, I think, some potential in the next couple, 3 years to really turn some heads, but it absolutely was not the case this Friday night as Galax improves to 2-0, or 3-0, I think. Bland at Narrows. It was all Narrows, which, as was expected, Bland trying to get the
hang on,
just trying to hang on. They were defeated 39-0. By NARS, as some will call it, but the Bears will live to play again. And on the positive side, 2 years ago, Blaine didn't have a football program. Last year they struggled, but they managed to put one together. This year,
and
they've got numbers are up a little bit more. They've got some younger kids playing, so it's a good sign that the program is moving in the right direction. Of course, the Riverview Grundy game was canceled last week. Moving on, we had Castlewood at Homeacre. This was all Homeacre here in this one.
But Castlewood won.
But Castlewood, huh?
Oh, I thought we was talking about COVID.
Oh, no. Castlewood, Homeacre 49, Castlewood 7. Mustard Biscuit Brigade wasn't able to get it going Friday night. Coach Hubbard improves to 2-0 with Honeacre Tigers.
And we let the cat out of the bag with Coach Wade, so they're ready for the wheel.
Yeah, I got a feeling we tipped our hat to Honeacre.
That was our fault.
Let them in on that. Apologize to Coach Lark and the gang for maybe revealing the top secret plan there, but sometimes our mouth gets in the way of things. Note for Honeacre. Honeacre was supposed to play Twin Valley this Friday night. Honeacre is now quarantined due to, in my understanding, maybe an athlete at Castlewood. So the Honeacre Twin Valley game scheduled Friday night has been postponed, and in lieu of that, Twin Valley and Thomas Walker, who was supposed to play later on, week 7 or 8, I think it was, they are now going to play Friday night. So Twin Valley and Thomas Walker are taking advantage of an open possibility. They don't want to take a chance of something getting shut down later.
And that's one thing we're going to have to talk about is what they're going to do when all these teams are getting quarantined and you've got a team that went 6-4, 7-3, but don't make the playoffs, but a team that went 4-0 did.
Yeah, this is a crazy messed up thing. It really is. I don't know. I don't even know where you begin on it. Back in action this week. Hurley at that was last week. Hurley was supposed to play Thomas Walker, and Hurley, of course, with that flood over there, things were canceled with that one. Montcalm, West Virginia, was at Twin Valley. Twin Valley.
Were they?
Yeah, they were there in spirit at least. But 52-6, Twin Valley with the big win. Jacob Cooper had 2 touchdowns for the Panthers. He had a 2-point conversion. Also made 10 tackles on defense. Dustin Jones did really well for the Panthers. 8 carries, 50-some yards. Larry Justice, Lane Stiltner also contributing. Lane Stiltner, I think, was 2 of 3, really good passes, 50-plus yards. So.
He threw a touchdown on an out route. That was a nice throw.
Yeah,
nice throw and catch. Yeah, everybody involved. The Lester kid was rumbling.
Yeah, Matt Lester, 88 yards rushing, so hats off to him as well. And Matt Lester also returned an interception for a touchdown. So Twin Valley improves to 1-0, and as I said before, they're not playing Honeacre Thursday night, but they are going to move forward and play Thomas Walker now on Friday. So Twin Valley improves 1-0. Chilhowie at J.I. Burton. This is probably, in my opinion, could be a precursor to a regional playoff game, possibly even a Region D championship game. J.I. Burton jumped out and basically had the lead early on, but Daniel Hutton, who kicked 2 field goals and scored his first career touchdown for the Warriors, helped basically put together a pretty impressive comeback and beat J.I. Burton on the road. Now Burton is 0-2. Burton had 128 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns from Trey Keys. But basically the difference in the game was a fake field goal. I think hitting those 2 field goals earlier in the game set Burton up for the fake field goal, and that score basically iced the game for Chilhowie. So Chilhowie with a comeback win, 32-22. And you got to take into consideration probably the star running back for Chilhowie did not play, and there were a couple other kids that were out for various reasons. This could be a good sign for Chilhowie if they're able to get this win.
Norton, they were on their way to victory.
Yeah, I think it's 22-10 was the score, and next thing you know, Warriors rattle off maybe 22 straight points unanswered. So this is Burton is another one of them teams, 0-2, but do not discredit them. They are still in the thick of things. Rye Cove at Northwood. This caught me by surprise. Northwood all over Rye Cove, absolutely all over them. Let's see what we got here. 37-0.
Yeah, and I think probably Tim Johnson. I didn't find anything on it, but I'm sure they threw the ball.
Yeah.
Pretty well.
Seth DeBusk rushed for 73 yards, 2 touchdowns. Nick Prater, big tackler on defense for Northwood. And Northwood was able to sling the ball around the field. I was just surprised by the score differential here. I didn't think it would be like that. So Northwood is probably a little bit more improved than I thought they were, or either Rye Cove isn't playing maybe to where I thought.
But again, we don't know if anybody was quarantined or.
You don't know. That's true. Could have been this day and time. You don't know who to tip the hat to. You could give COVID or not on some of these things. Next, we had Holston at Twin Springs. Expected Holston to get the win. probably not as big as they did, 41-16. Jordan Ezel, and if I'm pronouncing that wrong, somebody let me know. Jordan Ezel rushed for 88 yards on 13 carries, had 2 touchdowns, and Holston is now 2-0.
And still where they left off
Yep.
last year.
They're the defending Region D champs. So, like we always say, in order to beat the team, you got to beat the team. Until someone knocks them off their pedestal, that's who the top team is. So Holston continues their winning.
Bring me
ways.
12 more.
Continues their winning ways. All right, we got a couple more here, and we're about done. Lebanon at Patrick Henry. That one there, PH 36, Lebanon 14. Lebanon.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think Patrick Henry fumbled 7 times.
And still won. Land the ball. Speaking of that, I want to mention going back to that Graham game. Graham had 400 some yards on the total offense and had 180 yards of penalties. Now I don't know if that's where they've been laid off or what, but that could come back and catch you a little bit later.
Oh yeah.
And
but they haven't really played.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It could be attributed to that. It's the same way with PH, possibly, not getting a lot of reps is why they lay the ball on the field. But you can't do that and continue to win. It's very rare you fumble that turn that many times and win a ball game. Next, we had a rural retreat at Eastmont. Rural retreat all over Eastmont. Final score 35-0. Jamie Hughes and the gang there pick up the win. And I think that's all we have score-wise. We had Radford Gate City. I think we mentioned that one, didn't we? 21-17. All right, that includes everything for our mechanic therapy services. Last week's recap. Now we're going to recognize our Peak Performer of the Week, brought to you by True Point Bank, located throughout the entire region, True Point Bank. Peak Performer of the Week is Mr. Zay Turner Bradshaw of Graham High School. He is our player of the Peak Performer of the Week. Bradshaw scored 3 touchdowns for Graham and led Graham to a 34-6 victory over district rival Tazewell. So congratulations to Zay Turner Bradshaw being selected our True Point Bank Peak Performer of the Week. All right.
Hi, I'm Melinda Krieger with True Point Bank. Cheering on local teams is a community tradition at True Point Bank. We are a local bank supporting our local schools, charities, and people. If you aren't banking locally, it's time to make the switch. Stop by one of our offices or visit us online at truepointbank.com. This football season, have pride in our local teams and bank local with True Point Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
That being said, let's move on to our Big Talk segment. And this week, our Big Talk segment is brought to you by Southern Gap Outdoor Adventures. Check out Southern Gap Outdoor Adventures. Watch the commercial that we have here play in just a few seconds. It will light you up, get you a little bit excited to visit Southern Gap Outdoor Adventures. All right, our Big Talk segment, Coach Krieger. This comes out of Fairfax County and Loudon County, and I imagine there's going to be more counties to follow suit. COVID vaccinations are required if you are a student in one of those counties and participate and wish to participate.
Extracurricular.
Curricular activity.
And that's what they're saying. And I seen something on the news and saying that a bunch of people was for it, but they were a whole lot against it. But they said the schools can do that because sports, if they don't want to play, so be it. Mm-hmm. They don't have to offer a football team, a band, cheerleading. They don't have to offer that. So if you want to participate, some parents are saying get vaccinated.
You got to meet their demands in order, or their requirements
to play. And buddy, I didn't think it would go through.
Well, it would be no different than them implementing some type of GPA thing. You got to have a 2.5 in order to play. Football.
And I think that's the way it is. I think Virginia High you have to have a 2.0 to play.
Well, I'm glad we had a 1.0.
Shoot.
I don't know. My thoughts on this are a little bit mixed. I understand the schools has the jurisdiction to make these decisions. I can respect that, even though I might not agree with it. But I do think that it is questionable when it comes down to the fact that you could possibly be discriminating against someone with a medical condition. For example,
That's right.
if you have a student or that's undergone chemotherapy treatment and has recovered from cancer, and then that student wants to participate in sports, and then you have a rule that comes along and says, well, you can't unless you take the vaccine, and the doctors say no. I think the doctors know better than what school systems. Of course, they may put in an exemption for something.
Well,
like that.
they'll have to, because I know someone that, I forgot what it's called, but he can't take no vaccines. Flu, anything. He can't take anything. So what do they do about that? Because it's some kind of...
Yeah, it's probably an autoimmune thing. Or
it's something
I have a relative that is in that very condition.
So what if a kid, they'll have to let him play.
Either that, or you're going to see some type of precedent in the courts with lawsuits and so forth.
It's like this. 134 students at Virginia Tech should all get a lawyer. They kicked them out of school for not getting tested on a Sunday or Monday each week or having the vaccine, and kicked them out, but let 67,000 people in a stadium and didn't ask any of them, didn't know if they was vaccinated or not.
Right.
Come on now.
It's a double standard. Now if you say this, people...
These kids are trying to get education and this, but they want that, but the school take that, played on national TV, big upset, probably millions of people watched it. What they get? A couple $1 million out of one game, but kick 3 students out of school.
It doesn't
134 students out of school.
If you're going to make these decisions, be consistent.
That's right.
Yeah, it's the inconsistencies that burn us up. And if you look at, at least what the CDC says this week, of course next week it'll be something different. They change like the weather, but they come out and they tell you that vaccinated people can transmit the virus.
That's right.
They tell you that unvaccinated people can transmit the virus. Okay, so you're gonna make students that, and it's the same situation in Loudon and Fairfax. If you're unvaccinated, you can't play in sports, but yet the vaccinated can transmit it as well. What's the difference?
That's right.
If you're unvaccinated and I'm vaccinated and I transmit it to the pistol and you transmit it to the pistol, does it really matter who transmits it?
That's right.
And we're going to punish you because you're not. I just don't get it. It's not logical.
But,
and anybody that wants to say it is, they're fooling themselves or they're delusional. There's just something not. If you want to.
Well, it was this weekend. It was Friday night when Virginia Tech played North Carolina. Right after kicking 134 people out of school, and you see 67,000 in there. You telling me that everybody's vaccinated in that place?
No, they couldn't.
No.
And then they didn't vet them to see if they were.
That's right.
It's just the inconsistency, and I think that's what.
And I'm vaccinated. It's not that I'm against it. I took it. I'll take another one.
Yeah, I did.
It's not. But the way they're doing it is it's ignorant.
I'm vaccinated. My family is.
Mine are too.
It's just the inconsistencies.
That's right.
And there's some people that just will not accept the fact that there are inconsistencies, but we know that they are. To deny it is.
But there's a lot of money going into people's pocket, and they're playing with people's lives.
Well, I'm sure we haven't heard the last of this, and I'm pretty sure that these counties are not the only 2 counties that's going to do this. But this is something that'll be ongoing. We'll try to keep an eye on it. And that concludes our Big Talk segment, brought to you by Southern Gap Outdoor Adventures. And we'll be back here in just a second with our BELLACINO'S Player of the Week. All right, we're here with Jacob Cooper from Twin Valley High School. Jacob is our BELLACINO'S Player of the Week. Jacob had 2 touchdowns, 2-point conversion, several rushing yards, as well as about 10 tackles on the defensive side of the field, and leading Twin Valley to a 52-6 win over Montcalm. Jacob, congratulations on behalf of BELLACINO'S, and tell us a little bit about how you feel about the team performance Friday night and what you think about them moving forward.
I think what Coach said at the beginning of practice about we got to be thankful for we ain't getting shut down and we get to keep playing, but we can't take advantage of that because we don't know when it might happen. So I think that sunk in and we played our hearts out.
Good.
And we noticed few mistakes, and I think we corrected them in practice, and we're getting ready Walker this week.
Yeah, it was a short week. Get ready for Thomas Walker, as we told you. The Twin Valley game, Honecker, scheduled for Thursday night, was canceled, and they went ahead and picked up Thomas Walker for Friday. So check that out as well. We wish you the best of luck. Congratulations on being the BELLACINO'S Player of the Week. We'll get a plaque in your hands in just a couple of days.
Appreciate that.
Good morning, America. I'm Charles.
That is the World Trade Center, and we have unconfirmed reports this morning that a plane has crashed into one of the towers of the World Trade Center.
There is a major incident in Lower Manhattan.
We just got a report in that there's been some sort of explosion at...
Good evening, and we begin tonight with the monster hurricane and its deadly impact already. And tonight, up and down the East Coast,
All right, congratulations to our BELLACINO'S Player of the Week, Mr. Jacob Cooper of Twin Valley High School. Congratulations, Jacob. All right, now we have our top 5 brought to you by the Patriot Outpost. Check out the patriotoutpost.net for survival, preparedness, and other liberty-minded articles, blogs, podcasts, and so forth. All right, our top 5 of the week. Coach, see if I can pull yours up here.
You got it over there.
It's over here somewhere.
And you know, with the top 5, we keep forgetting. I mean, sometimes we put George Wythe in, sometimes we don't, and so I think somebody might have them in there, but we forget about Galax right there beside of them.
To clarify how we do it, in the beginning we was strictly just Region D, but basically the way we do it is if Coach Krieger wants to throw a Region C team in there, he can, and it doesn't mean I have to. I may not. I may choose to leave them out or vice versa. We just kind of, each of us do our own little thing here. So that kind of clarifies it a little
right.
bit. All right, we'll go with 1A. I'll let you go first. And you may change those, or if you want me to go first, I will.
Nope, everything's still, well, no, I'll probably, just like I said, I mean, you've got Galax in there, but I don't, and George Wythe, but I stop at Royal Retreat, at Jamie Hughes.
Ooh.
But number 5, I've got Patrick Henry. They won again this week. Number 4, I've got Doug Hubbard's farewell tour that came to a halt.
It did.
It came to a halt very quick. I hope they can get back out on the field next week. I hope. I mean, because boys, you're looking at something like this that, I mean, COVID could hit the rest of the time. He might only play 2 games.
You never know.
Nobody knows. But I still got Honecker at number 4. I got Jamie Hughes and Royal Retreat at number 3. I got the Chilhowie Warriors at number 2. And I've got the Mighty Wave at number 1.
All right, that's Coach Krieger's top 5. My top 5, 1A, I've got the Honecker Tigers. Coach Hubbard, as he said, on his farewell tour. Number 4, I've got Jamie Hughes, or Jimmy Hughes, I call him. Jimmy Hughes and the Rural Retreat Indians there at number 4. Number 3, I've got Patrick Henry Rebels. Number 2, I've got the Holston Cavaliers. And number 1, Chilhowie Warriors.
But you know what, me and you, we're pretty stupid. I mean, who we missing on here that we don't have on there? That we brag on it week in and week out?
Burton. Yeah.
I ain't even on there.
I counted that 0-2 against them there.
That's me. They're going to have to show us something.
You're going to show me something, yeah. We'll brag about you, but you got to show us
That's
something.
right. We know you the best. Or the second best, it looks like right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, 2A.
All right, 2A, I've got at number 5. The Ridgeview Wolfpack. They got a big week. I might bump them plumb to number 1 if they can pull the upset this week.
Well, they got a chance to really make some noise and move up the ladder in the only poll that really matters.
And the only poll that matters. All right, number 4, I have the Big R. They don't play this week?
No.
They didn't play this week.
I tell you what, if they move up this week, I'll move them to number 1. If they win this week, I'll move them up.
All right, I've got them at number 4. At number 3, I've got the Patron G-Men. Big game, look good against Tazewell, but I've got them Y Central Warriors at number 2. And I've got the defending region champs, Turner's Tea, baby. Who's the next one going to be put in the tea bag?
Throw it up.
Turner's Tea is way too sweet. And Union at number 1.
All right, so let's see what I got here. Number 2A, my number 5 team. I've got the tartar sauce over there at Richlands. We had to throw something in there. Coach Tartar and the gang at number 5. Number 4, Ridgeview Wolfpack. I've got the Graham G-Men at number 3. Coming in at 2, I've got Y Central. And number 1, I've got the Union Bears and the Fanny Pack. All right.
Fanny Pack. I forgot about the Fanny Pack.
Oh yeah, can't forget the Fanny Pack. Rounds out our top 5. Up next we have our Stump the Crig segment, and we'll be moving forward with that right after this. All right, folks, welcome back to the show. It's now time for our Grundy Auto Sales Stump the Crig segment. And as usual, we always get a hermetically sealed envelope from the local bank that has been under armed security and the watchful eye of several trained security guards. And it's usually delivered here in a Brinks armored truck. But today, something different happened. They are so puzzled, they can't seem to realize how they have failed to stump the Crig. So the powers that be are going to try to one-up the game on the Crig from now on, and they've issued a new format for Stump
So I beat Stump the Crig. It's over.
They're tweaking it, and they're the ones that make the rules, whoever they are. We don't know who they are, of course, you know. But they have now given me 3 envelopes, and in these 3 envelopes there is a question, and they want you to tell me what the answer to the question is before I read the question. I think they're stacking the deck in their favor.
It's still easy.
That's what I think. I think they're really stacking the deck, and I just don't see how you could possibly answer the question without hearing it. But nonetheless, I'm going to give you question number 1. I hold it here in my hand. Question number 1 is in my hand. I want you now to tell me what...
You want me to answer it before you read the question?
Yes, you tell me the answer, then I will read the question. I mean, that's genius level stuff.
Well, let's see. I know question number 1. It's kumquat.
It's kumquat.
That's exactly what it is.
All right. Well, kumquat, the actual final answer.
Kumquat, final answer.
Kumquat, final answer, Pistol. Let's see what we've got here. All right, kumquat. And the question is, what do you say when calling your quat? What do you say when calling your quat?
Kumquat.
Unbelievable. Can you believe this?
Yes.
All right, question number 2. Good Lord. What's the answer to question number 2?
This one's a little tougher. Coach Tester's calling. But I'm going to answer this. He didn't tell me. I'm not going to answer it. But the second question, before you read it to me, is Rosy Red Cheek.
Rosy Red Cheeks.
Yes, Rosy Red Cheeks.
All right, let's see what the question is. Rosy Red Cheeks is the answer, right?
Final.
Okay, Rosy Red Cheeks. What do you get when you squat on a rosy red fire?
Rosy red cheeks. Yes. Two for two.
2 for 2. I don't understand. I don't know. We got third and final question right here. Third and final question. I need to know the answer to the third and final question.
Let's see.
This one's probably harder than the first two.
Oh no. Hickory dickory dock.
That's your answer.
That's my answer.
Hickory dickory dock. Final answer.
Final
All
answer.
right, let's read the question. Let's see what we've got here. About tore that one in half. Your answer was what now?
Hickory dickory dock.
Where do you go to when you get a pain in your hickory dickory?
To the dock.
You go to the
Hickory dickory dock.
Yeah, well, that's 3 for 3, folks. Once again, we have failed to stump the Crig in what may have been the greatest challenge that he has yet faced. Powers that be will have to go back to the drawing board and see if they can come up with something else. All right, up next we have our Buchanan General Hospital. All right, so it's time for Buchanan General Hospital Pigskin Prognostications. Coach, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's knock these out and get out of here. All right, Abingdon.
Abingdon.
Gate City. All right, Abingdon. Yeah, I'm going to go with Abingdon, but I think Gate City is going to continue to improve. Next, we have by the way, that's one of our premier games of the week, and Abingdon at Gate City. Next, we have Radford at Fort Chilton.
Radford.
I've got Radford.
3-0, Coach Chris.
As well. Radford, I think, will win that one. I just don't think Fort has anything for them. Another one of our games of the week to keep an eye on is Graham at Richlands. This is a big one.
G-Man. Patron.
I think Richlands is going to be more game than they were last time, but I just don't think they got enough.
Oh, yeah, they'll play. I think Sage Webb, they're going to have to stop him.
Yeah.
They're going to have to pick and choose of what they want Richlands to do.
If Richlands is able to throw the ball effectively, take a little bit of pressure off,
they could be in the game.
Yeah. But I think Graham's going to come out on top on this one. The fact that it's at Ernie Hicks gives Richlands a little bit of an edge there, and I'm sure that crowd will be pretty loud. So that's a game to definitely keep an eye on this week. If you get a chance to go watch a game, go watch that one. Next, we have Holston at John Battle. I think Holston's going to continue their winning ways in this one. John Battle seems to be struggling right now.
Holston.
All right. J.I. Burton at Union. I'm going with Union on
Boys,
this.
you mean Norton's going to go 0-3.
And still a pretty darn good football team.
And a good football team that's not in our top 5. And we got Patrick Henry about it.
Yep. They won a game.
I'm going, boys, the Turner's tea too sweet. They roll, baby. I'm talking big.
All right. You reckon?
Big.
Will they have? Here's the question: will they have to go to the fanny pack?
No, absolutely not.
All
Not
right.
this week.
All right. Northwood at Marion. Boys, I'm telling you, for the first time in a long time, this is a game that both
Marion
going to be competitive. I'm going to pick Marion in this one as well. I agree with you. I think Marion will finally get in the win column, but I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk.
What do you mean you don't think it's going to be a cakewalk? If Northwood's so good, why didn't you pick them last week and they played dry cold?
Well, I'm basing my pick this week on what they did last week.
You all weird.
All right, so I think Coach Smith and the gang will get the big W there against Northwood. Mount View, West Virginia travels to Tazewell. I know nothing about Mount View.
I know Mountain View had the longest losing streak at 30 at one time.
Well, I know they're usually fast.
But they're coming to Virginia, right?
Yeah.
Tazewell Bulldogs for me.
Yeah, I'm going with Tazewell as well. I don't know a whole lot about that bunch across the state line, but I think the Bulldogs.
Well, I know they got athletes.
Yeah, they usually do.
But they have a different coach about every other
Every
year.
time you turn around. Patrick Henry at Virginia High.
Virginia High goes 3-0.
I'm picking Virginia High in this one. I think PH will be the first opponent to give them a little bit of a scare, but I think Virginia High will pull away and win this in convincing fashion. Next one of our games to watch this week, and the reason it's significant, Rye Cove at Bland. The reason it's significant is Bland can potentially,
I'm going with Bland.
can potentially pick up a win here. The game is at Bland.
I'm going, guys. I'm putting you on the map. I'm going with Bland. What's their mascot?
Bears. Bland
Oh
County
yeah,
Bears.
that's right. The Bears.
I'm going to go with Coach Krieger. I'm going to pick Bland as well to get in the win column, and this will be a big story if they manage to pull it off. Up next, we have Carroll County at Galax.
Galax.
Yeah, Galax, I think, rolls in this one here. Next, we have Giles at George Wythe. This one is throw this one.
Boys, George Wythe win. I mean, they ain't scoring, but their defense not giving up a lot of points. Didn't they play Galax first game? Or who'd they play that it was a close game?
I can't remember.
And then this week's 14-7.
14-7. They're not giving up points. That's true.
But they're not scoring.
But I think the single wing could be enough to put them over the top in this game. I'm going to go with Giles.
I think I will too.
Okay.
And this is could be up for region championship right here,
You never know.
right? And then the same region,
Yes.
you've got is Galax, George Wythe, Giles, and Nares going to battle it out, I guess.
Yeah. Probably them four.
Well, that's
Okay.
better name than region.
Grayson County at Floyd County. I'm going to go with Grayson County in that one. I don't know a lot about
Me
Floyd.
neither. I'm going with Grayson.
Chilhai at Nars. Excuse me. Yeah, that was a big game a few years ago. Remember that?
Is the running back out still for Chilhai?
Yes. Well, I don't know if he'll be back this week, but he was out last week. I'm going to go with the Warriors in this one. I think
Is it at Narrows?
it's at Nars.
I'm going with the Green Wave.
All right, the Nars.
I'm going with the Green Wave.
Phelps, Kentucky will travel to Hurley. Is that correct, Pistol? All right, so Phelps, Kentucky at Hurley.
I mean, Hurley's coming off, some just bad disaster. John Paul's going to have them ready. I think they're going to, the community will all be out to support. If Hurley don't get tired, I think they win the ball game easy. But I know they've practiced, and I know, but this is their first game. But I think they go off on emotion, and Hurley Rebels win the ball game.
That's what I think.
I think the running game gets going. They keep the ball from Phelps, and Hurley wins the ball game.
I'm going to pick Hurley as well in this one. I think the game's going to be a little closer, but I think the crowd and atmosphere is going to be really good for a Friday night football game, especially after what the Hurley community went through. So I got the Rebels in this one. Another game of the week to keep an eye on is Twin Valley at Thomas Walker, which was an impromptu game that will be taking place Friday night. Everything in me tells me Tom Walker probably has the edge on this, and the fact that Twin Valley is on the road traveling to Thomas Walker. But being a Twin Valley fellow there, I'm going to go with the Panthers in this one.
I think the quarterback and the receiver is going to be too much for Twin Valley. If they don't get to the quarterback and they let him stand back there and throw, it could be a long night. But if they can get to him, I'm going with Thomas Walker.
Yeah, that's going to be key for him. If they let him stand back there, it's going to hurt the Panthers. All right, next we got East Side at Lebanon.
East Side.
Yeah, I'm taking East Side after last week.
If they put 60 up on Lee, they're going to put 70 up on Lebanon.
And I imagine a lot of that was through the air. I'm just guessing. Twin Springs at Unaka, Tennessee. Don't know a whole lot about Unaka, but I'm taking Twin Springs. I think Coach Warner and the gang's going to get a win.
I'm going Coach Warner and Big Red.
All right, Big Red Army. And then another one of our top 5 games of the week, Grundy versus Blacksburg. That's a game that originally wasn't on the schedule.
When I first seen that and they posted it, I was like, Lord gosh, what are they doing? It's going to be like playing Pikeville all over again.
Yeah.
But I did some research, and you know, Giles beat them pretty handily. They've only scored 12 points all year. I'm going with the Golden Wave.
You do have Grundy at number 1 in 1A.
I do. I'm going with the Golden Wave. I know it's a 4A school, but it's not. I mean, I think Blacksburg's got people out or something, whatever's going on, but they're traveling all the way down here to play.
I'm gonna, after what you've told me, what little bit I know about them, but it's gonna be hard for Grundy to. They're really playing up on this. Blacksburg is traveling a long way. That's an advantage to Grundy, but I think I'm gonna go with Blacksburg on this one here. I think the Berg will get the win. But I think that's one that's going to be.
It's not going to be what people think.
I don't
like people, when we went to school, if they opened the paper or read Facebook and say Grundy's playing Blacksburg, they probably ain't going to show up to the game.
Yeah. This is one you don't.
They said, "Ain't no way." They said, "We couldn't beat them in. Ain't no way we going to beat them." I think the last time they played them was my junior. It might have been my sophomore year. We played them in the region. And Shane Beamer and Shockley and all those played, and they beat us, I think, 35-14 or something like that. I think that's the last time they played.
All right. Well, it's been a long time since they made that trip back in the 60s and 70s. That was a regular trip for folks from Blacksburg and Grundy.
Well, it was a South District game, wasn't it?
I think it actually was. Don't hold me to that, but I think it was. All right. Well, that concludes everything for this evening's show. It's episode 4.2. Go somewhere and watch a football game this weekend. You don't know when. It might be the last chance you get to watch one.
And if you're over in the Hurley area, the IGA don't have their meat no more. It has been beat. Go to the Hurley Meat Market, because you can't beat their meat, because it's IGA's meat.
There you go, folks. Once again, you find out something new every time you watch this show. All right, until next time, I'm Coach Moore.
I'm Coach Krieger.
Reminding you that there are 2 secrets to success in life. Number 1, do not tell everything that you know.